biggest...
We welcome you to St. Louis and day 2 of Arch Madness, the State Farm Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament. It's time for the number 1 seed Bradley to take the floor, taking on the number 8 Northern Iowa, the Braves, and the Panthers. Let's take a look at where we are so far. 4 games yesterday. Northern Iowa beat Illinois State to advance to this 1-8 game. The 4-5 game today, Belmont and Indiana State. It's Drake and Murray State tonight, and the late one, a dandy between Southern Illinois and Missouri State. We'll get there. Right now, it's a noon tip for the Bradley Braves, the number 1 team in the Valley in the regular season, the number 1 seed. Ben Jacobson, the head coach of Northern Iowa, said last night after a win over Illinois State that our offense has been good for the last 8 or 9 games, but the defense hasn't been sharp. That's how Illinois State was able to close the gap yesterday, making that an interesting game that eventually the Panthers won by 13. Today, it's the Northern Iowa offense that will have to be on point. This is one of the best defenses in the country, giving up only 61.3 points per game, 13th ranked defense in America. And the number 1 defense in the league, Bradley, averaging 70 a game, same as Northern Iowa. 2 teams that have a lot of history in this tournament of winning it all and going to the NCAA tournament, but vastly different when it comes to experience. A very young Northern Iowa team. Scott Warman, Kevin Lehman, Kelly Burke will have that and more when we come back. Play-by-play, Panthers and Braves next.
And what if I own...
Game on. See ya. Permission to launch.
Bend with the wind.
Almost there.
Papa John's just flipped pizza night on its head. This is the new crispy Parm pizza, and it puts toasted Parmesan where it's never been before, on the bottom. Introducing the crispy Parm pizza, only from Papa John's.
Us. This isn't us. Is it?
Uh-huh.
Let's take a break from our devices for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes. And let's see what we find.
Hey, bud.
U.S. Cellular. Built for us.
Will remain radioactive for years to come. Well, thank goodness it's time for the good news of the week.
And boy, do we need it.
Well, this safe driver saved money with the Snapshot app from Progressive. How do you feel?
Good.
He's better than good. He got rewarded for driving safe and driving less.
Sorry, Barb, just to confirm, this is the feel-good news of the week?
This is what we found.
Yay, Snapshot.
Us. This isn't us. Is it?
Uh-huh.
Let's take a break from our devices for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes. And let's see what we find.
Hey, bud.
U.S. Cellular. Built for us.
Game on.
Valley Conference men's basketball tournament is brought to you by State Farm. For your personal price plan, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. By farmer-owned Prairie Farms. Drink local with Prairie Farms. And by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow.
Ah, yes. Welcome to the Gateway City. It is quarterfinal Friday here in the Valley as we get set for game number 1 of 4 here at the Enterprise Center. Closed captioning for today's game was made possible by College Hunks Hauling Junk and Moving St. Louis, which provides St. Louis stress-free moving and junk removal services. Well, a good afternoon to one and all as we welcome inside the Enterprise Center. Kevin Lehman, Scott Warman with you. Kevin, we have youth and experience going up in game number 1. The experienced team, the number 1 seed, they're on a roll. Meanwhile, the youth team from UNI, the 8th seed, well, they're getting a little bit of confidence coming into this game.
They played really well yesterday. They've only got one upperclassman. The rest of them are freshmen and sophomores, but they've got an experienced coach in Ben Jacobson. This is his 17th trip to Arch Madness, but they're going against a Bradley team. Just took home the regular season title. They've won 10 games in a row, one of the hottest teams in the nation and one of the best defenses in the nation.
All right, for a great defense in Bradley, they're going to have to try to figure out, shut down a guy in Bowen Board today.
You talk about playing with confidence. This young man has what I call irrational confidence. He thinks every shot's going in. High basketball IQ for Bowen Bourne. Can get that 3-ball off. Great floater in the lane. He understands what defenses are trying to do to him. He's able to create space for his shot. He's coming off 22-point performance yesterday. And you're looking at Rink Mass. This is the most complete 5-man in the Valley. He can shoot threes, but what he's going to hurt you is inside. He can score with his left or his right. Knocks in the 3-ball. He's got 20 triples. Big assist, man. This is a tough cover, Rink Mass.
All right, Kev, let's get to your keys to this matchup. It's brought to you by Explore St. Louis.
Well, the Panthers, they got to play with pace. Best defense in the country in the Braves. You don't want to go against that set, loaded defense. Look for the Panthers to try to up-tempo this game. And I talked about those freshman phenoms. They got to play like upperclassmen today. You were talking about Duax, Campbell, Wolf. And for the Braves, they like to use the term own your own matchup. Guard your guy one-on-one. Don't get beat off the bounce. And look for them to, through the offensive end, to play through Rink Mass. Talked about his complete offensive package.
Folks, when making plans for your next trip to St. Louis, start your planning now at ExploreStLouis.com. More on the matchup, more on Coach Warder's motivation. We check in with Kelly Burke. Kelly.
The turning point of Bradley's season, January 14th, after the Braves blowout loss to Drake. Head coach Brian Bortle, always trying to find unique ways to motivate his team, had T-shirts made that said 8661 ESPNU, referencing that beatdown on national TV. Bortle wore the shirt to practice the next day, and the Braves proceeded to win 10 of their next 11 games. Coach Wardle, fresh bulletin board material this week, showing the Braves every article, every podcast that has Drake picked to win Arch Madness over Bradley, despite them being the #1 seed. To say this Bradley team is fired up is a massive understatement.
Kelly, thank you so much. And there you see the Coach of the Year of the Missouri Valley Conference. First one for Brian Wardle in 8 years. We were there when he completely did an entire reconstruction project in Peoria with this Bradley Braves program. You were on the call last Sunday when they won the championship. It is great to see Carver Arena just jam-packed, and a ton of them are here at Arch Madness for this first quarterfinal.
We've got a sea of red here in the Enterprise Center. And Brian will talk about the building blocks. That first team, they only won 3 games in league play now. Regular season champs.
Hickman, as Bradley has the opening possession. And we take a look at our starting lineups for this afternoon's matchup. It's brought to you by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow.
Hickman coming off that big game against Drake in the final on Sunday. He's still got the hot hand for the Braves.
Duax had a big day yesterday in the victory against the Redbirds in opening round action. Ooh, little inadvertent pass, and here come the Braves.
See the Braves start Hickman on Bowen Bourne. They're going to use Hickman for physicality, and they'll put Zeke Montgomery on him later on with some height and length.
Dean spots up for a mid-range jumper. Here comes one of those young freshmen for UNI, Trey Campbell.
A good push by UNI, but Bradley gets set. And this is what they do. Talk about playing with pace, Scotty. You can't relax against the Panthers. They are in attack mode. Bourne right to the rim.
Bourne had 22 in the first matchup between these two teams, but talking to the Bradley folks, they contained him a lot better with only 11 points. Bourne against the Braves in match number 2 of the regular season. Bourne off on the 3.
That's the game where the Braves up in the McLeod Center hit 16 threes, 16 triples against this Panther defense.
Leons follows his own shot. Good hustle by Bourne.
50-50 balls will be huge in this game, Scott. What team can get those loose ball rebounds?
Duex. And the foul is called. Well, there is the Dean of Coaches in the Missouri Valley Conference, 5-time Coach of the Year, and he is slowly moving up the charts to, what, 3 left before he's #1 all-time in Valley wins only, as it has been quite a decorated career. And you look at the coaching in basketball in Cedar Falls, you know this, Kev, being from up there, is the fact that I mentioned this during one of the women's telecasts this year. Tanya Warren is moved all the way up the top of the charts on the women's side, probably at some juncture going to the Hall of Fame. We just saw the Hall of Famers inducted before the game here in Game 1. No doubt Jake's going to be in the Valley Hall of Fame at some juncture.
Oh, no question. Just past Dana Albany, and that was a real moment for him, because when he came in the league as an assistant with Greg McDermott, Creighton had set the standard, so to pass Dana Altman on that wins list was huge.
What a move by Montgomery.
Well, they like to put the ball in his hands. He is the one Bradley player that can beat you off the bounce. This matchup with Montgomery on Duax is going to keep an eye on. Mast is the anchor of that defense. You're going to see him help when he needs to. Great communicator.
Warren again for 3.
His ability to read the defense when he comes off those screens is exceptional.
I remember talking to Coach Wardle before the season, and as you know, they lost their point guard to the transfer portal, and that's what he told me was one of the keys was making sure that the assist to turnover ratio, we had somebody taking care of the rock at the front of their offensive sets.
Now Duke Dean comes in the transfer. Really solidified that position for them.
Leons. An offensive foul.
Good job by Titan Anderson. Mast is so good in the post. Look at watch the footwork and the balance. Upper body strength, and he can throw that hook in, Scotty. Left hand, right hand. I always tell the story that he told me his father made him play left-handed when he was 10 years old for an entire season. Come on, Pops.
By the way, we have a Final Four officiating crew in Bert Smith, Amy Bonner, and John Higgins. Anderson. Oh, he had the range in the first half yesterday against Illinois State from beyond the arc.
I hit 2 triples. They're going to leave him open and suck in to take that roll, man. Toughest cover in the Valley will score inside on you, pick and pop, and can pass the rock. Rink Mast. And the anchor at the defensive end for the Braves.
Inside to Anderson, and looks like the foul is going to be called on Henry. Just underway. It's #1 versus #8. Back and forth we go here in Game 1 of Quarterfinal Friday. Enterprise Center as we're just underway. First of 4 here from downtown St. Louis. All right, let's take a look at the 2023 Arch Madness bracket. Brought to you by State Farm. For your personal price plan, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. 3 more after this one today. Good one coming up, Belmont and Indiana State. You and I will have Drake and Murray State. Of course, the Racers with the big victory last evening. And, of course, Missouri State rolling to the quarters as they will take on Southern Illinois.
Oh, we had some great games yesterday. Great individual performances. Indiana State, Bobby Avila with 21 points. And Cooper Neese, red hot, 5 of 6 threes for the Sycamore team. They had a shootout with Belmont when they met here a couple weeks ago. And Alton Mason was fantastic for the Bears. Murray State, great performance from Jamari Smith with 18.
Down and Henry.
I was going to say, those after timeouts, OBs. Ben Jacobson has been fantastic in this tournament. They ran that similar play for Bourne yesterday against Illinois State, got a 3. That time ran it for Wolf. Dumped down for Henry.
It's almost automatic, you know.
Jacobson's got the ball after a timeout near his basket. Watch out, there's that.
Boy.
Yeah. Wow. Can't guard that, Scotty.
So we've seen 3 field goals from him, 2 inside, 1 outside.
Tough guard, Rink Mast. Do so many things. And also outstanding passer.
Speaking of outstanding passes.
What a read by Bowen Board. Cole Henry quick to the rim. Rink Mast is going to give you long helps. They're going to try to run Henry to the rim. He is on fire today.
Bourne trying to answer. Mast with the rebound. The big man from the Netherlands has come to this tournament on a mission, it looks like, early on.
Locked in.
Henry, a little give and go, and Jashawn will head to the free throw line.
There's that OB player, Henry with the finish inside, Wolf with the dump down. Now let's go the other end. Watch the big man from the Netherlands go to work. Kiss one off the window. He's already got 10 points. But they've been using that pick and roll at the other end. Mast going to step out. That is nothing but nylon for the big man. Mast a perfect 4 for 4.
This young man, I think, is an awesome story. And I mentioned this the other day to Coach Zavosik when we were in Chicago. I'm really excited for this young man. What he's been through and endured, missing the last couple of years with his injuries. Part of the tournament championship teams of 2019 and 2020 to come back and be a huge part of Coach Wardle's, what they've accomplished, at least to this point this season, I think is really special for Deshaun. There's Brian, the Coach of the Year in the Valley. Again, I go back to, kind of had this conversation yesterday. We got to know Brian a little bit even before his stint in Peoria. But talking to him, wanted to completely change the entire culture of Bradley basketball. Literally stripped it down to nothing. And it is quite a story that what is a great basketball city, much less a basketball program, is back on the rise in the Valley.
Now, we saw it Sunday with 11,000 in Carver Arena for that championship game. And Brian Wardle has done a phenomenal job of building this program from the ground up.
And Campbell out of bounds. So that block for Leons is number 50. So he has 50 steals, Kevin, and now 50 blocks in a season which has never been done before in the history of the Missouri Valley Conference.
Defensive Player of the Year right there, Elvie Leons. Part of the connection from the Netherlands, the Flying Dutchman.
Dean, a little strong on that attempt. Sorry. Man from Turkey. And Northern Iowa basketball underneath.
Northern Iowa, Mass has put a show on here to start this game, 4 for 4, but they seem to unfazed the Panthers. Still in attack mode, trying to push the tempo.
Oh, wide open. Betts has it blocked again by Lowndes.
Oh, that was block number 51. Set that one to next Tuesday. Great shot blocks. He'd come in from the weak side. Leon's legs that right and left corner.
Leon's off the glass.
Well, we've seen some great footwork from that young man, Leon's, and also from Rink Mast in the post. Great balance. Step-throughs. And you and I knows on these high ball screens going to be long help by that 5 man. So I try to get that roll man down there.
And the travel, turnover. Second one of the first half for the Panthers.
They've had success with that middle ball screen because they know what Brian Wardle's going to do on the defensive end. It's going to be long help by that 5 man. There's going to be a gap in there for that pocket pass. Panthers trying to take advantage.
Checking in for the first time for the Braves.
5'9" and also big, strong bench for the Braves.
Played on the Finnish team last summer. Jump ball call and the possession arrow to Northern Iowa. They will have the basketball when we return. 11:45 remaining in our first half. It is a 6-point lead right now for the Bradley Braves.
Coach, Rink Mass 4 for 4 from the field. What are you seeing in that matchup with Mass that you're taking advantage of?
Well, we got a few pick and pops at the top of the key. They're in drop coverage defensively, so he knows he can dive it or pop it when you see that type of coverage. So it's just solutions to their different coverages on ball screens.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Scott.
Coach Kelly, thanks so much. Panthers basketball when we come back to the Enterprise Center. We take a quick look at this year's Birdwatch. It's presented by Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Great Southern Bank in the Valley are proud to recognize the league's Player of the Year with the Larry Bird Trophy.
And Tucker DeVries takes home the hardware. Last year he was Freshman of the Year in the Valley. This year takes home the Larry Bird Trophy for the best player in this league. And we have a little package here on Mallory Leon's part of the Dutch Connection. There's the 50th block, and there's number 51. Leon's gonna go inside, kiss one off the window. Complete player at the offensive end and the defensive end.
There you see the two young men from the Netherlands. Funny story, I don't know if you knew this or not, but while they've played on Netherlands national team, they've never actually played on the same team in Netherlands. In fact, Leons was so impressed with Rink Mast that he wanted to play with Rink in college, and hence the story to the trek to Central Illinois.
Well, and I asked Leons who won in that national championship game. Of course, Malve said, yeah, I won. I've won up Rink Mast. They started playing against each other when they were 14 years old in the Netherlands. Of course, Leons goes through Mineral Area Community College, where he was the National Junior College Player of the Year and the National Scholar Athlete of the Year.
Mast trying to follow up. Betts gets the rebound. That's going to be the intriguing part between Betts and Anderson, trying to control the glass with those two big guys there from the Netherlands. Ooh, Betts from the outside.
Oh, he just stuck that one in Rink Mast noggin. Hand down, man down. I didn't even know Betts was going to pull the trigger. He just kind of rocked it back there and knocked it in.
Great read by Dean. He had Betts backing up, and he found Rink wide open underneath.
Well, that weak side tag man is not getting there in front of the rim for the Panthers. Mast on the roll, wide open in front of the rim. That game at McLeod Center when the Bradley hit 16 threes, they threw that ball that weak side. We're seeing the tag man not coming in as quickly for the Panthers in this game.
Tough shot there for Bourne. Well, he's done it from pretty much anywhere, beyond the arc, in the paint, mid-range, you name it.
Well, they run that high-low with Mast and Henry at the block. It's a real problem because of Henry's strength inside. You got to send a double in there. That time, Betts just got caught in no-man land.
Mast 6 of 9 from the field, and we've only played 10.5 minutes in his first half. Anderson. Strong move inside, just a little too strong on the attempt.
Well, he's going against that 7-foot wingspan of Leons inside. Don't have to send a double.
Good read on the cut. Duax, the freshman, right there. They're trying to find the freshman. And another jump ball call, and that will give the ball back to the Braves.
Bourne gets in there tight. Defense collapses. Duax trying to make a basket cut. 50-50 ball's huge in this game. Who's going to win that battle?
We were in Carbondale last week, and we saw the old version of Floorburn last week, didn't we? Saluki dogs flying all over the Banterra Center floor. Henry's going to get called for the bump.
Henry's out there trying to take away that 3-ball and Rink Mast. Mast has the ability to put it on the bounce. And here comes those fresh bodies for the Bradley Braves.
The breather for the two Dutchmen.
The bench for Bradley has been exceptional in this 10-game win streak.
Line's got a small lineup out there right now. There's Kevin Einen with this first three, and Jake is not happy with the defense as he calls a timeout. 30-second timeout taken by UNI.
We just talked about the bench punch for the Bradley Braves. Ville Taivainen, starters minutes, starters experience. Young man from Finland can knock in the 3-ball. He's been on a hot streak of late.
road. Betts drained that three. It was 16-15. Bradley hits a 7-0 run in almost 2 minutes after that three by Betts for the Bradley Braves.
Well, Sky, they're 10 of 17 from the field. Bradley they've been red hot. We talk about their great defense. The team can really get it going offensively, especially when Mast has that hot hand. So difficult to cover. Northern Iowa does not have the luxury of as much depth on their bench. Certainly not the experience. Ivan is going to take his stab at Bourne.
Duax on the drive. Foul is called.
Duax with that huge game yesterday. He was in attack mode, had 19 against the Redbirds. A great job of cutting to the front of the rim when Bourne is making moves.
It's part of the all-freshman team in the Valley. Big 19 points in the victory against ISU yesterday. Had 14 in the second matchup between these two teams during the regular season.
With great efficiency yesterday, 8 for 10 from the field for Michael Duax. They need a repeat performance. They're going to knock off the regular season champion Braves in this one. And high-low look again. Get Henry in the block. He had Bourne on his hip.
Hands open, short on the miss, and Bradley will get it underneath.
Big, strong, physical Jashawn Henry. He's got 13 down there. Mass decides to drain one inside. Henry going. Loose ball keeps possession for the Braves.
Tapanainen, no.
Good tip out by Duax.
Buzz. Bourne's pass, and that is the 4th turnover for the Panthers. 7:48 remaining in our opening half of Game 1 of quarterfinal Friday of Arch Madness 2023. And let's send it over to Kelly Burke. She's with Ben Jacobs.
Coach, how do you make it tougher on the drop coverage on Rink Mass?
Yeah, he's a real challenge, right? He's made 2 threes already. He's scored twice around the basket, which, you know, he's done that to a lot of people this year. I think we just got to mix it up as best we can on him. So he's got some different looks, but he's a challenge.
Thanks, Coach. Scott.
Kelly, Coach, thanks so much. 7.
And what if I
Center as the regular season champions have the lead here in the first half of 1st of 4 in downtown St. Louis. Folks, the Missouri Valley Conference is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the passage of Title IX legislation. Throughout the academic year, the Valley is honoring pioneers from league institutions who paved the way for current and future student athletes. To learn more about the conference's Title IX recognition plans, please visit mvc-sports.com/Title 950.
I was at Bradley's practice last Sunday on the Hill before their matchup with Drake, and I saw Brian Wardle's 2 daughters working out, Emmy and Maya. These 2 are competitive, Scott. When they left, Coach
so what you're saying is the apple doesn't fall too far.
Well, he says it comes from the mother, Alicia. When they were leaving the gym, Coach Wardle says to him, "Okay, now leave it on the court. Don't take it home with you," because those 2 were getting after it in that workout session. Fun to watch.
Cats have been held scoreless for 3 minutes. Titan trying to get off the schneid, and he does with the 2.
Anderson loves that left block.
Hickman.
Need some points in the paint, some traditional ones. Great shot fake. Put it on the deck, power move by the captain of the most improved team for the Missouri Valley Conference, Titan Anderson.
So, folks, for that young man there, at the end of last season, he averaged 1.9 points per game and 2.1 rebounds. Now heading into today's game, he's got 12.7 and leads the conference in rebounds per game at 8.6.
And what are the double-doubles? It's like 12 or 13?
Yeah, he leads the league.
He's got so many of them, I lost track. Every other game's a double-double for number 32.
We've been in this league for a while. We've seen some kids gradually improve each year, but I'll tell you what, the turnaround for Titan is probably one of the tops I've seen in all my years.
But I talked to Coach Jake last year. He goes, "Yeah, he's wired a little bit different." Yeah, that's an understatement.
Henry with the kick out. Leons for 3.
What a complete player this young man is, Leons. Blocks, steals, 50-50 in there, but he can knock in the 3 ball 40%. 6'9", that is a tough cover.
Scary part is I've been told he's coming back for next year. Might already be one of your leaders in the clubhouse for Player of the Year in the Valley.
Well, if he can come back, and Rink Mass has an opportunity to come back if he likes. Duex loves that turnaround mid-range jump shot by the redshirt freshman. Panthers trying to hang around.
Passed. Fouled. So tough.
I know his father, Eric, made him play left-handed as a youngster. I hope he kept him, taught him how to keep the ball up high on that roll move. Great fundamentals by Rink Mast. And he's talked about reworked his body. Look at that.
Well, I was just going to say.
Wow.
Remember when he first came to Bradley, he was a wiry dude.
Yeah.
That's changed immensely.
He's got that V look in those shoulders, number 51. Same thing with Leons. That guy put some strength on. Mast. It was so tough about this guy. We saw him shoot the 3 ball. He scores in the block, got him on the roll move, and he makes free throws. Outstanding passer. Pulled the string on that one, but that is a rare miss from the free throw line by Rink Mast.
I think I've decided after all these years, I'm just not going to talk about the success of these guys at free throw line. Because every time I jinx it, it's on you now, Kev, not me.
And I'll take that first one, Rink. Sorry, buddy. I like this 3/4 court press with the length up front with Leons. Gives you some problems. Really takes your team out of rhythm. They drop in this 1-3-1.
Oh, yeah. Interesting switch up here by Brian. Good read, and Duex gets the jam.
Well, Henry is a great passer, 6'9". This guy was a high school quarterback. Cole Henry, 6'9", in a spread offense. great passing ability. He's telling me his dad has got his team in the NAIA championship round. He's the #1 seed, William Penn College. John Henry, good luck to you this week.
Battle for the rebound, and it's going to be UNI basketball.
Duax with a big game. Yes, they need another one out of him today. Henry with the great look down, and Duax punches it through.
How about the recognition of Northern Iowa with the transformation from man-to-man to the 1-3-1. Again, we're talking about a team with no seniors and only one upperclassman.
It's great coaching. Ben Jacobson, 17th trip here to Arch Madness, and he can tackle over 20. He was an assistant to Coach Mack. He's like second home to Ben Jacobson. Orange got down.
Wax is foul. Bradley wanted to travel. They didn't get it.
Bourne's got down on the baseline with nowhere to go a couple times. They've closed the door on him. Duax trying to bail him out with those basket cuts. That hot start by Bourne, Scott. They've been able to adjust their defense. He has not gotten any open looks.
Had a couple buckets early on, but that's pretty much it. It's kind of spread your wealth right now. I think this is a huge test for Northern Iowa. Remember, they had that timeout under double digits. They've kind of bring it back to a single-digit deficit. Got a good veteran team like Bradley. They could stretch it out towards the end. Duax really doing his job right now.
And again, though, we see the Panthers scoring on a blob play. Baseline out of bounds. That was an ISO for Duax on the elbow. Goes one-on-one with that sweep move. Another great coaching move by Coach Jacobson. He's been fantastic on his OB plays.
Lands. I'm sorry, Kevin, can't do it again. By the way, just a little footnote. 33rd edition of Arch Madness in St. Louis turned the ball over. Previous 32 years, the top seed has only lost one time in the quarterfinals. Northern Iowa lost to Drake in 2020.
Yeah, that was right after the Panthers had beaten Drake at the Knapp Center to get that regular season title.
Asked for another three. 19 points, and we still have 4 minutes remaining in the opening half.
Scott, you can't guard that action. That ball went first side, second side, back again to the third side. Deep three.
Bourne tries to answer. Ooh, in and out.
Go to the top of the screens on Bourne, make it difficult for him to get any space.
Well, the boys from the Netherlands have come to play today. Already 19 for the big man for Bradley. Kevin Lehman, Kelly Burke, Scott Warman, Tom Ackerman alongside as well. Game 1 of quarterfinal Friday. Top seed has the 8-point lead. And we have been talking about the Dutchman. I know it's right around mid-evening in the Netherlands. I don't know how many are actually watching, but hello to all the good folks. And they got to be smiling. Look at what these two gentlemen have done. And we're not even done with the opening 20 minutes yet.
25 of Bradley's 32 points by the Dutchman. The two Flying Dutchmen. And then at the defensive end, Leons with 2 blocks to put him over 50 blocks and 50 steals for the season. The Flying Dutchman. They were flying high today at the Enterprise Center.
Ast is just he's a nightmare if you're trying to defend him.
He's just got, he had that early knee injury, missed 6 games, and he's come back, took the brace off, playing with more and more confidence.
That's a tough shot. Good defense by Betts on that possession for UNI.
Betson kept him from coming back to the middle and no space to play. Let's see if Bourne can get something going.
Bourne, too strong.
They're going to the top of the screens on Bourne. Mass is giving some long help and long arms to the vision of Bourne's having trouble finding the roll man.
Dean from the corner.
Important 2:30 here for the Panthers.
Bourne facing a double team. Has the shot blocked by Hickman. Dean in transition.
Bourne's really struggling to find open space. Too much length by the Braves. They got some numbers.
Bourne going right up against Leons.
Bourne turns the corner here. He thinks he's going to make it in there. Here comes Hickman.
A little stare down there, huh?
Coach Warren was there. You can see the sideline telling Hickman, get back the offensive end. That sophomore's been tremendous. What a game he had in that championship against Drake at Carver Arena. Hickman came out firing on all cylinders.
19 for the young man from Bloomington, Indiana.
Warren calls him the Rock, the solid, everyday guy.
Great job getting back on defense. Now Northern Iowa needs to take advantage.
That window looked like it was going to close quickly on defense, but Panthers have been stuck on 24 for a long time.
Scoring drought of 3 minutes, boss. Bourne. And gets the bailout. Folks, stay tuned for our halftime report. It's sponsored by State Farm Insurance, a proud partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your State Farm personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote right now. Tom Ackerman will handle the chores up in the studio and bring you some of the highlights and all the numbers from the first half of play of our first quarterfinal game from the Gateway City.
Bourne had that early 5 points, and he's been digging dry wells since then. Now a chance to get the free throw line where he...
Bourne.
Great. I didn't want to jinx him. I know.
Bourne only played just over 5 minutes last week in Southern Illinois. And we mentioned this yesterday. The young man just goes 110 miles an hour all the time, according to Coach Ben Jacobson. There's Mast again, and he actually missed a shot. Great job of Tavanainen to keep it alive.
One of the rules Bradley has, if you're below the free throw line, you go to the glass. Tavanainen's been a great offensive rebounder for Bradley. If you're above the free throw line, you head back on defense. But go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, we're talking about Bourne, and you and I were talking to Coach Jake about this. And he's just nonstop. And especially when you're taking a long season, you're the focal point. You're going up against these defenses for 30-plus games. And Jake said he really learned. He always was energized at 110%, but really was fed off from A.J. Green as we're he has that mental attitude where he can't slow down even at practice.
Yeah, I learned the work ethic and what you have to do at your workouts at 100% from watching A.J. Green do it. That's a little bit of that recruiting process. But hey, here's a guy, A.J. Green, you're going to come in and play with. He's going to show you how to be a college athlete. And of course, A.J. Green having tremendous success.
Leon's on the drive. Daniel with the foul with just 2 ticks remaining on the shot clock. So Leon's to the free throw line where he's 76% on the season.
Back that Southern game, Coach Jake took Bourne out there, had some issues with his quads and sat him, played 6 minutes in that game. But they're getting ready for this tournament. Coach Jake seeing the long road. Bourne with great performance yesterday.
Well, and we've seen him be very aggressive in substitutions even early on, not only today's game but yesterday's game. Remember that game last week at Southern Illinois, he took the technical foul to get his starters out with, what was it, like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game?
Yes, it's out of timeouts, took a timeout.
He'll tell you, hey, I'm not 10 deep, especially with no fight this year, and of course Heisey going down with the injury early on. Lead is at 8. Wolf's been quiet this half.
Wolf, tough day at the office yesterday. They need some points out of him.
That's on Hannah. Now the freshman Campbell. Shot clock winding down. Campbell, tough shot.
He is cool, calm, and collected. The freshman from Cedar Falls.
And Brian calls his first half timeout with 7.1 remaining. These freshmen for you and I just have ice in their veins already.
Well, shot clock in his head, a couple crossovers, gets himself into rhythm. Trey Campbell, 4-sport athlete at Cedar Falls High School. Could have played a number of sports. Great track athlete, football player. There's the impact of those young guns from the Panthers. Duax, big game yesterday with 19. Campbell just saw what he could do. And Landon Wolf on that all-bench team. Those guys, 234 plus points. Duax, well over 300 points.
Jake is building quite a program again. No surprise at Cedar Falls. Again, no seniors, just one upperclassman. That's all freshmen and sophomores. And oh, by the way, Heisey be back, and maybe Fife as well. Wow.
I talked to Austin Fife again today. It's all green light, full speed ahead to try to get that extra year medical redshirt and play next year.
Great play to miss. Oh, he missed it at the buzzer. Missed the bunny. But he and the Braves have the 6-point lead at the break.
And Wardle with a great play there, but a few seconds left in the half. But I thought the Panthers got stuck at 24, made a nice little comeback here into this half.
Kelly Burke is with Coach Brian Wallman.
Coach, where has your defense really excelled in disrupting Bowen Bourne's looks and his reads?
Well, we're just trying to put size on him. He's a great player, and he can really score. It's not over. We got 20 more minutes where he can heat up, so we got to be disciplined in our ball screen coverage, our dribble handoff coverage, so that we just have size and length on him at all times.
What's your biggest concern going into the final 20 minutes?
Well, we got to make some free throws and miss layups. I mean, we're getting some great looks, I think. We're starting to move the ball better. The ball's popping. We just got to finish plays, whether it's a layup, a free throw, or open three.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Scott?
Coach Kelly, thanks so much. So the regular season champions, the Bradley Braves, trying to move on to semifinal Saturday. They have the lead by 6 at the break here in our first quarterfinal matchup. Tom Ackerman has our halftime show next.
Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament is brought to you by State Farm. For your personal price plan, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Explore St. Louis. Start planning your visit today at exploreστlouis.com. Friday afternoon, the St. Louis Aquarium is swimming around today, and these kids are swimming and dancing and having a good time at Arch Madness. That might be the coolest field trip ever right there. Bradley leading Northern Iowa by 6 at the break. Welcome to our halftime report, sponsored by State Farm, a proud partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent. Get your State Farm personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today. First half highlights made possible by Live by Lowe's St. Louis. Northern Iowa leading scorer Bowen Bourne has been held to 7 today, so they turn to Michael Duax. Really like this player. He can do a lot for them. Very strong inside, very explosive, getting up in the air. Duax is a player that they're going to be leaning on here in the second half if they continue to throw size at Bourne. And speaking of size, Rick Mast, 20 points. They are clearly going to the big man for everything. He can hit from the outside. He's made 3 threes. He's strong inside. He missed that little shot right there at the end of the first half, but he is 8 of 14 from the floor. The rest of this team is 5 of 18 from the floor. Bradley leaning on Rink Mass for 20 first half points. Want to experience laid-back luxury in the heart of downtown St. Louis, adjacent to Ballpark Village? Visit loweshotels.com/St. Louis. That's LOEWS hotels.com/ST Louis to book your hotel room today. Tom Ackerman with you at Enterprise Center. Bradley showing why it is one of the top defensive teams in the country. As Brian Wardle said, trying to throw some size at Bowen Bourne. Bourne is just a pest out there, but also a terrific player. He can shoot, he has a quick release, he can slash to the basket, doing all they can to get in his way. You can see the block shots. Leon's has 2 of them. They definitely have the ability to block a shot, alter a shot. This team's so long, getting in passing lanes and just getting in the way of Bourne, making things difficult on him. And in the meantime, converting on the other end and doing what they have to do, being efficient as best they can. Northern Iowa hasn't been sharp defensively, but today, hanging in there, playing as they can against Bradley and holding their own right now, down by 6 at the break. They'll have to find a way to turn the tide here in the second half. We'll inspect that, look more into the numbers, get into our second half preview, and we continue the State Farm halftime report after this. To our halftime report, sponsored by State Farm, a proud partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your State Farm personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today. The 2022-23 All Missouri Valley Conference selections are presented by Explore St. Louis. Start planning your visit today at explorestlouis.com. I could win a lot of games with this team right here. All conference honors, Leons, Henry, Tyson, McCauley, Tucker, DeVries. What a crew. And the coach of the year, Bradley's Brian Wardle. You've got your Larry Bird Trophy winner in DeVries, who has had a phenomenal season. Newcomer of the year in McCauley. Freshman of the year, Tyson. Defense, defense, defense. That's what wins you games. Bradley knows that as well as anyone. And Jashawn Henry coming off the bench. So good, so explosive, coming off the bench for this team and flying through the air, making plays. It's an entertaining Bradley team featured right here and on this floor at Enterprise Center. When we come back, we'll look inside the numbers, our stats on the State Farm Halftime Report. To our halftime report, sponsored by State Farm, a proud partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. Look at that. That looks good. Don't let anyone else have any. That's all yours, sweetheart. Bradley leading Northern Iowa by 6 here at Enterprise Center. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your State Farm personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Get a quote today. Let's take a look at our first half stats. A production of Union Station, St. Louis, the home of attractions like the St. Louis Aquarium and the St. Louis Wheel. You can do it all at Union Station. To see where it takes you, visit stlouisunionstation.com. I was mentioning, aside from Rick Mast, 8 of 14 from the floor, rest of the team 5 of 18, and that's why you have that percentage just a touch lower than Northern Iowa. Neither team's been able to bust out on the fast break thus far. It's been a very good defensive effort by Bradley with 4 blocks, just playing stifling defense as they always do. The Braves and the Panthers, the second half next.
Moving day has arrived, and college
Conference Men's Basketball Tournament is brought to you by State Farm. For your personal price plan, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. By farmer-owned Prairie Farms. Drink local with Prairie Farms. And by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow.
Panthers trail it by 6. Madness and their head coach Ben Jacobson is with their own Kelly Burke.
Coach, with Bowen getting so much defensive attention, how do you find more looks for Michael Duax?
Well, Mike's done a great job in a game and a half down here. His aggressiveness is going to be important for us here in the second half. We've seen a lot of this with Bowen, right? And I got a feeling he's going to make some pretty good plays here in the second half. So, it's going to be a great half.
How do you keep Bradley off the offensive glass?
Yeah, that's probably the key to the game for us. We talked about it a lot coming in, and they do a great job of getting there. We're going to have to be a little tough. It's really the answer. We're just going to have to be a little tough.
Thank you, Coach. Scott.
Coach Kelly, thanks so much. And we talk about Bradley's defense, and rightly so, but how about this for UNI's defense? As you see, Rick Mast, after 20 minutes of play, a point per minute. But Bradley missed 8 of the last 9 field goals, Kevin, in that last segment, if you will, to end the first half.
It allowed the Panthers to hang around. If they can, Northern Iowa can solve the Rick Mast problem. He's got 20 of their 34. They got a chance in this one. But you also, as Coach Jake just alluded to, got to get Bradley off the glass. They got 7 offensive rebounds.
It has been quite a first half here in the opening half for Bradley of Arch Madness. Mast with all those points, and his fellow Dutchman, Leons, picking up his 50th block and also number 51 in that first half, and also contributing with 5 points. Second half underway of our first quarterfinal matchup here at Enterprise Center.
He opened this half and took Bowen off the ball. He's down in the corner.
Got Hickman on him right now. Duax on the drive and the block and the foul.
Is he aggressive? Number 15, Michael Duax. Great basket cutter, and Bourne knows he's coming. Let's see when Bourne drags 2 defenders off. Time and time again, Duax will circle and go right to a rim cut.
Folks, the only place to celebrate before and after all the Arch Madness action at Enterprise Center is the MVC Fan Hangout at Ballpark Village. For all you need to know about the Fan Hangout, download the Arch Madness app presented by Great Southern Bank. It'll be absolutely nuts the next couple of days at Ballpark Village. Arch Madness, 8 teams still in the hunt for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And oh, by the way, the very first MLS match for City St. Louis is tomorrow night, too. Downtown's going to be nuts.
Mast with that left-hand hook inside. Got 22. Meant to send a double at him.
Owen in the land of the Giants. That's, kept alive again by Duax. Bourne, bang, hit it.
That was right in line with my sights to the basket. As soon as that team came out of his fingers, you knew it was going down. Montgomery tried to get a piece of it.
Cats trail by 4. A little pressure defense here with the trap, and Duax going to be called for the foul.
This is a second chance opportunity. Duax is able to tip this out. That is from the Enterprise logo. Starts that shot from the hip. Nothing but nylon.
Duax has just picked up his 3rd foul.
Well, Ben Jacobson going to let him go, too. No one's at the bench.
Manning that guy there, Leons. And they're going to go right to him. Smart move. And the foul is called. And that is number 4.
Rocker step from the left wing. A Flying Dutchman flies in there and kisses one off the window, but more importantly, Duax, who's been given a lot of offense to the Panthers, picked up the 4th. Duax has got 9 points, 3 rebounds. And the Wolves going to have to step up for the Panthers.
Coach Jake rolling the dice there, and it didn't pay off, but what a heady play by Bradley to add that notification to go right to Leon, so try to get number 4, and it was successful, including a 3-point play.
ISO on the wing. Hickman started the game on Bourne, and he started here second half doing a very good job of making life difficult for Bourne.
With a great move, and he'll head to the free throw line. Henry picks up the foul.
Anderson excels at getting behind the defense's vision and coming out from behind the backboard.
Anderson 65% from the charity stripe this season.
One of the areas of his game he's got to get better at. Big improvement from last season. Still has a ways to go because he's going to get fouled a lot because of his style of play.
Beautiful pass by Hickman. Great recognition, but how about the defense? Quick hands by Betts.
Betts can good recovery. It looks like it's going to be an easy dunk.
Dean in transition for the 3.
The Duke has the neon green light to shoot it anytime he wants in transition game. The emotional leader of this Bradley Braves team, the little guy, Duke Cody Dean.
Bowen Bourne does it again. And a timeout by Northern Iowa.
This is transition baskets. You got to find those shooters and get out. Loose ball. Dean pulls up. Great rhythm, knocks it down. Braves up by 6.
Friday here of Arch Madness between the top seed Braves and Northern Iowa. Let's get to today's State Farm MVC Scholar Athlete of the Game. It is Bradley's Rinkmas, the junior forward from the Netherlands, has a 3.54 cum GPA in physics. Visit statefarm.com or talk to your local agent to get your State Farm personal price plan like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Doing it in the classroom, on the basketball floor, you name it, this kid can do it all.
He's got it all going for him now. And he can come back for another year. He wants to take that COVID extra year of eligibility. Has not made a decision yet. But wouldn't that be great for the Bradley fans to have Rink Mass back for another season?
I can't even spell physics.
Starts with a P, not an F.
Thanks for the heads up. Again, UNI's Duax, the freshman, on the bench with 4 fouls. Dean misses everything.
That's good. He's been a big piece here for this Panther
team. Is heating up, folks.
This is his 3rd triple of the half. Ward looking at his bench. Zeke Montgomery's going to put him in, put some size on Bowen Bourne. Brian Wolf told me this morning, we're going to just give him different looks, try to keep Bowen Bourne out of rhythm. And he is in rhythm here in the second half.
That's great defense by Best. There's Bourne down on the floor. Here come the Cats. Best for the tie. Wolf, great hustle.
Oh, I thought Wolf's going to lose it. Able to kick it out to Anderson. Shot clock at 10.
Purple and black jerseys all over the floor here at Enterprise, and Bourne will head to the free throw line. Northern Iowa making a run and making it interesting here in downtown St. Louis.
Cardinals 5, 6, and 10 game ticket packs are on sale now.
All right, we take a look at the scores and schedule coming up today in quarterfinal Friday. It's brought to you by Grinnell Mutual Insurance. Trust in tomorrow. Belmont, Indiana State coming up. John Rooney and the coach Rich Savosic will have it for you. And then, of course, 2 more games tonight here at the Enterprise Center. Northern Iowa only trailing it by 3 thanks to Bowen Bourne.
Well, they've got 11 points here in the second half. Bourne has got 9 of them on 3 triples. This guy has what I call irrational confidence. He thinks every shot's going in. Number 13, Bowen Bourne. He's from a basketball family. His father, Mike's a scout for the Pacers. He grew up when his dad was with the Portland Trailblazers. Damian Lillard is his idol as he hung around that Trailblazers locker room.
Sixth Man of the Year in the Missouri Valley Conference last year and built himself up in this sophomore season to second team all-league honors. And he has willed the Cats to a 1-point deficit. Northern Iowa fans on their feet, and here come the Bradley fans as well.
And Duax went out with that fourth foul, and Bourne stepped it up at the offensive end.
Passed on Betts, trying to back in. Montgomery's been pretty quiet. And hits the deck hard. He's okay. And great sportsmanship by the Northern Iowa players to help him up.
The Flying Dutchman came flying in from that right wing to try to get an offensive rebound. One of those black jerseys, able to get a piece of him.
He's going to take a seat. He has 3 fouls. And again, Duax for Northern Iowa picked up that 4th foul early in this second half.
The Wolf has come off the bench for the Panthers, giving him a lift. Hasn't made any shots yet, but he's on a good floor game.
Bourne. No.
Down the inside, trying to shoot over the outstretched arm of Mast.
Mast posting up here. Campbell with the help defense, and I think Trey's going to pick up the foul. Hey, MVC fans, the conference has announced single-session ticket discount offers for Arch Madness 2023. The Family Fun Pack, American Heroes, and Hoops Hookie, to name a few offers you can find at archmadness.com. Get your tickets now.
See that sea of red supporting the Bradley Braves here. Got a whole corner filled up. Once twice now, Panthers have almost picked the pocket. Bradley's been able to keep possession.
Shot clock at 5. Hickman.
Big time floated by Hickman.
Stopped a 2.5-minute scoring drought for the Braves.
So twice the Panthers got in with the quick hands, almost pulled it loose. Hickman able to answer. Don't know how that one went in.
Bourne is like the Energizer Bunny. And if you're just a lone person that has to follow him throughout the entire game, you have to go to the ice tunnel. You have to be just dead tired after a game against him.
Ryan Beaton, the Illinois State coach, said, Manu Ginobili.
Zeke off.
We were trying to think of any player that Bourne resembled, and that's Ryan Beaton. I thought he came up with a good one.
Trying to get the foul, but it was last touched by Hickman.
Five 5'11", 175. Stretch.
I think you're right.
That's a stretch. Little guy with a big ticker. Take a little breather.
Henry driving the baseline, a little strong.
Pixaria now going to run the point for the Panthers.
And blocking foul is called on Anderson. That will be his third foul.
Good job by Hand. No one stopped him in the fast break. Hand just kept taking it right down Main Street.
Will take a breather here with those 3 fouls as Daniel will come in for the Panthers.
Both Brian Wardle and Ben Jacobson have gone into their bench.
Hannah was wide open at the free throw line. Now Henry in the paint. Henry, yes!
That is pure power. Deshaun Henry. Squeeze it. Head fake. Split the defenders.
Two-time Valley Tournament champion misses the free throw.
I love his game. He's had some issues at the free throw line. But inside, that is a powerful young man.
Only 56% from the free throw line. Pretty strange for a guy that's been in the game for about 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah, struggled Sunday from there also. Where the point's going to come from with Bourne on the bench trying to get a rest. There's the answer.
We are tied for the first time since 1648 of the opening half.
Well, Wolf struggled yesterday. You knew he would not have a cold day today.
And a good, quick first step. One of those blow-bys, as they say, right?
Well, he get him in the elbow. They like to run that ISO play for Hannah because he is so long and athletic. Landon Wolf struggled yesterday against Illinois State. This guy can really shoot the basketball. Big lift for the Panthers. Knocks it up at 46.
Young man from Cedar Falls. Bradley right now 4 for 11 from the free throw line.
Well, the team, they don't get there a whole bunch, and they are not in the bottom half of the league as far as percentage. We're seeing that play out today in this game.
Ass coming back in as he gets a breather on the Bradley bench. Comes full court pressure.
And no Bourne in there. They're going to try and get these Panthers out of rhythm. Montgomery, excellent on-ball defender. Good matchup here.
Anderson trying to back in on Henry. Titan is fouled.
Really good matchup. You're watching the most improved player in the league. Titan Anderson go against the 6th man of the year, Sean Henry.
That is 4 on Jashawn, and he's going to have to take a seat as Hannah quickly comes back in for Coach Wardle. So for the first time since the 17:07 mark of the opening half, Northern Iowa has a lead, 48-47 on the 2 Anderson free throws.
And they've done this, Scott, with Bourne on the bench, getting the rest, and Duex on the bench with 4 fouls.
Turnover back to Northern Iowa.
Hedgeman stayed entrapped on the ball screen.
Again, we talk about Bradley's defense, rightly so. But Northern Iowa, we mentioned, picked it up towards the end of the first half. It's carried over into half number 2.
They show different looks to this Bradley offense, and they've taken ranked mass. They've slowed him down this half.
Daniel, no. The whistle. What a quarterfinal we have here. So much emotion. It's the Braves and the Panthers. Quarterfinal Friday, great one, as Northern Iowa, the 8th seed, trying to knock off the regular season champion Bradley Braves as they lead it by 1 with 11:39 remaining. Folks, download the Arch Madness app presented by Great Southern Bank. Understanding what really matters. The app has all the information you need to know about the tournament schedule, hotel accommodations, and other fun events during the tournament. Download the app on your Android or iOS device right now. This place is rocking here in the noon affair, and we've got a rock and rolling game as Northern Iowa trying to knock off the regular season champs. And you made a great point, Kevin, is the fact that Northern Iowa a little bit on a run right now with number 13 Bowen Bourne on the bench getting a break.
Getting a break, and also Duax sitting there with 4 fouls. Panthers have changed their ball screen coverage on Rink Mass. Mass with 20 in the first half. He's only got 2 points here in this second half. That ISO on the block.
I think what we've seen a little bit more from you and I from a defensive standpoint, we saw it right from the opening possession of the second half for Northern Iowa, is more on-ball pressure. Remember, we saw that trap in the corner right at the beginning.
Yeah, they're showing different looks. It's getting Bradley off balance. They like that middle ball screen, the Braves do. They've trapped it, long hedged. It's made those passes down the post longer to throw.
Hickman 1 of 2. Dean, quick hands in the steal. And the finish by Hannah.
The emotional leader of the Braves. The Duke gets a pick.
Jake says, oh, we're going to stop here. We're going to stop this momentum right now. As you see the mass of Bradley fans donned in red here at Enterprise Center.
The live ball turnovers can turn a game around, and Hannah's going to plant the Bradley flag right there in the Enterprise Center. Take that one back. Punch it through.
6 lead changes now with the jam by Hannah.
Usually Duke Dean gets this team going with 3 balls. That time, quick hands and a steal. The finish by Hannah.
All right, so we take a look at the foul situation. Duax again with 4, Anderson with 3, Henry with 4 coming off the bench, and Leons, who we haven't seen in a while, also on Brian Wardle's bench with 3 personal fouls.
They're getting good play out of Darius Hannah. It's allowed them to keep Leons on the bench.
Bourne back in. Again, Anderson, you see, getting ready to trigger.
Duax back in also for the Panthers. Rink Mass is on Titan Anderson.
Bourne steps back, hits it again.
Outstanding ability to create space. The step back 3 ball.
He has 16 of Northern Iowa's 23 points in this second 20 minutes of play.
4 triples in the second half.
7th lead change. Dean found that little crease, but there's Mass to clean it up.
Again, Mass able to go in and rebound to keep the ball high above his head. Soft touch.
He hit one back in the first half, and that one off the mark.
Mass had sunk in. That was a clean open look for Betts. Call it that 2-headed monster the Panthers have. Betts can shoot the 3 ball at the 5 spot, can really spread you out. Then they bring in Cole Henry, an outstanding passer.
Duax on 7-9, and remember again 4 fouls. Dean's 3. No good.
Oh, good screen by Anderson.
Bourne stops, starts again, and lays it in.
Great ability to read the defense with the hesitation. Great screen by Titan Anderson. Dean in right in the chest of number 32 in black.
with the pressure defense. Bourne catches up with it. Oh, getting the double team and the foul. It's going to be on Billy.
Ball screen up high. This is the IQ of a great player. The hesitation. Hannah, 6'9", tries to get a piece of it. Sneaks it right in there underneath him.
He just had that small hesitation that eventually slowed Hannah up with that long wingspan like Leon's, and boom, right to the bucket.
Bourne has a deceptive extra gear.
Leon's, you see, back in. Again, 3 fouls. Bourne trying to cut the corner, and now it's number 4 on number 14. You see Coach Wardle shaking his head. It's big decision time now for Brian.
Well, he's got his front line. Henry with 4 fouls. Lands with 4 fouls. And decide Brian Wardle is going to go with Montgomery.
Well, on February 1st, our Valley telecast again to update you on the foul situation for both teams. Bowen Bourne hit a jumper at the buzzer at the Knapp Center to force overtime. Oh, by the way, did it again in the first overtime to force the second overtime. Eventually fouled out of the game with 30 points, and literally the Drake players were glad-handing him as he went over to the UNI bench. What a show he put on that night.
Well, I asked Darren DeVries, are you going to foul when you're up 3? He goes, no, I was never going to do that. Even after Bourne knocked those 2 in to put him in overtime. Bourne now with, he's got 19 here in the second half.
Zeke slides out.
That's a little different lineup for Bradley. Zeke's playing that 4 spot.
Oh, Betts couldn't get it. Good hustle by Wolf. You talk about hustle points on UNI's side today, man. They're getting after it.
They're getting the 50-50 balls.
Yep. Bourne. He actually missed one. Avanainen trying to get a foul, and now we have an injured. Looks like Dean is down on the floor. And here comes the Braves trainer to attend to Duke.
Long rebound, and there was bodies flying after the basketball. How high that one came up.
And John Higgins and Bert Smith are going to go right to the replay. We'll let you know what happens here after this replay. Cats and Braves in a dogfight here in St. Louis.
It begins here with Hoops in the Heartland downtown.
Bourne has 26 of the 54 points this afternoon for Northern Iowa. We mentioned the show he put on at the Knapp Center in Des Moines back on February 1st. Cats are down to their final shot, need a three, and they got it at the buzzer to force overtime. But Bourne, well, Bourne again. Look at this. Overtime number 2 with 2 threes at the buzzer. He had 30 that night, and he is very close to his third 30-point performance of this season.
He's got 5 triples, which matches his career high. Big second half for Bourne.
So after the review by the officials, John Higgins came over and told us incidental contact when Dean went down, so we just play on. Devanainen.
Henry in with 4 fouls. Duax in with 4 fouls for the Panthers.
Anderson against Mast. Tight. Most improved player in the Valley. Trying to spin around Rink. Anderson keeping it alive. There's those 50-50 balls again. And a jump ball call, and it will go Bradley's way.
Great effort, though, by Anderson. Coming out of bounds after this shot.
UNI is just absolutely relentless. They are hungry.
They are the aggressor here in the second half, and just the body language. That Bradley team's kind of looking around like we didn't expect this. 2 easy victories during the season. But Bourne has a different idea in this game. Well, that play was to get Rink Mast a 3 ball.
Well, fouls could become quite an issue. Not only who's in, who's out, but making free throws. As we alluded to, Bradley really struggling, boss, from the free throw line right now, Kevin.
This young man, Deshaun Henry, has had some issues. He's 0 for 4 at the free throw line, and the Braves, as a team, just 6 of 14. Got the lid off on that one. Nice soft touch. Rolled it in. Great story, Deshaun Henry. Weren't sure he's going to come back here for this extra year after he had concussion issues last season. Wasn't surprised for Brian Wardle and the Braves. Deshaun Henry with that extra season.
Tied at 54. Anderson against Mast. Tough shot.
Well, interesting matchup here. They put Mast on Anderson because Deshaun Henry has the 4 fouls. They've got Deshaun Henry on Betts.
Mast inside with the spin, and it'll drop.
Oh, that is a big-time move by the Dutchman. Power dribble, come back over your right shoulder with a soft, feathery touch.
And again, Leon's on the bench with 4 fouls. Boy, Anderson again, they go inside. Blocked by Mast.
Great recovery by Mast. That was an ISO play for Anderson.
Henry, double team there. The foul is going to be called on Landon Wolf.
Matchup, they're trying to explode here with Mast on Anderson with a little more quickness. Gets the hang and the hit. The answer at the other end by Rink Mast, as Mast now has 26 points for the Bradley Braves.
Our next MVC TV Network production continues. Arch Madness 2023 coming up this afternoon. 5th seed Indiana State will take on the 4th seed Bruins from Belmont, and it'll be here at the Enterprise Center about 2:30 or so. John Rooney and the coach Rich Savosic. The partners will have that one, game 2 of 4 this afternoon.
But this one is a defensive battle. Belmont, Indiana State is going to be an offensive fireworks.
Fire away from beyond 3, my friend. Bradley up by 2. Bourne can't tie it. Mast is there.
Third different defender on Bourne. Now it's Havanainen. Keep putting height on Bourne.
Pass from the outside.
Those are shots that went in the first half for Link Mast.
Right. Duax with 4. Campbell, the freshman, gets the foul and will head to the line.
Fundamentals of these freshmen is outstanding for the Panthers. Campbell in there set his feet, took his time. It composed.
Like they've been there for 4 years.
And this guy's not a red shirt. You know, Wolf was red shirted. Duax was red shirt.
Right.
Campbell's a first-year freshman.
So Duax with 4 fouls on the floor, and now Leon's heads back on the floor for Bradley with his 4 personal fouls.
Duax was not as aggressive at the offensive end.
Tied once again.
Foul issues, just not as aggressive.
Our 8th tie of the game. Brian Wardle calls a timeout at 5:20 remaining. Well, Northern Iowa trying to do something here this afternoon that, well, has only been done one time in the 32 going on 33-year history of Arch Madness. They were unseated as the #1 in quarterfinal Friday against the Drake Bulldogs just a mere 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was a huge turnaround, much like we see in this game where you and I had gone to the Knapp Center and had a big win over the Bulldogs, and Darren DeVries came in with a new defensive scheme and took Altman out of the game and face guard him, A.J. Green, and big win for the Drake Bulldogs. Panthers trying to repeat the opposite end. Bradley has had 2 victories during the season over the Panthers.
Again, Leon's back on the floor with 4 fouls as this foul situation interesting. Duax back on the bench with 4 fouls for Ben Jacobson's Northern Iowa Panthers.
Henry also, Deshaun Henry out there with 4 fouls for the Braves.
Montgomery finds Henry down low. Ooh, blocked by Anderson. Henry relentless and will head to the line. He was not going to give up.
This is a well-designed play by Brian Wardle. They took this thing, and it was a back screen cut for Henry to come underneath behind the defense. Stuck with it.
Betts picks up the foul. That's his 2nd. Anderson has 3.
Henry got 4 free throws to go down. Now he's just 4 of 8.
Gives Bradley the lead at 59-58 with 5:08 remaining.
He made top 9 back in the guard Bourne, and they keep putting fresh bodies and height on Bourne.
Owen short on the attempt.
Frustrated himself. Had a clean look at that one.
Passed on Betts. Hickman for 3. Henry with another offensive rebound and the foul.
He has been a beast on the offensive glass, Deshaun Henry. 8 rebounds for number 22.
All right, let's check in with Kelly Burke.
Bradley guard Jashawn Henry, the oldest and most experienced player on this Bradley team. The 6 years here, he's been a part of those back-to-back Arch Madness titles. And he's actually undefeated here in St. Louis, unbeaten 6-0. Because if you keep in mind, the last 2 seasons he's been injured, hasn't been able to play here at Arch Madness.
10 offensive rebounds today for Bradley as Henry builds the lead up to 2 for the Braves.
Sean Henry 6-0 in Arch Madness. Try to keep that record perfect.
Bourne clears it out. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bourne against Tavanainen for 3. No. Way off. But again, 50-50 board. And look at the Panthers trying to retain possession, and we'll go back the other way. Braves basketball when we come back as the regular season champs are holding on in this one. Prize Center. It is our first of 4 games of quarterfinal Friday of Arch Madness. Good one here, as you see. Pins and needles for the Bradley Brave fans, and they've come out in force from Peoria as the top seed holding on to a 2-point lead. Kevin Lehman, Kelly Burke, Scott Warman, Tom Ackerman alongside as well. Three's kind of been the difference so far with Northern Iowa's surge here in the second half.
Well, we saw Bradley hit 5 threes in that first half. They've only got 1 here in the second half as the Panthers, you mentioned, Sky, they got more aggressive in the second half as take that away from Bradley. And then Bourne got it going from distance for the Panthers.
Other thing to keep in mind, the Braves have missed 10 free throws. They're 12 of 22 today, but doing a better job of the second half. Fast on the pick and roll. Bourne was trying to pick up the charge, didn't get it.
A good play by Wardle after that timeout. Both these coaches have been excellent on their plays after timeouts.
Bourne, 28.
Smooth as silk.
5'11". Oh, miss. Mass trying to hit his fellow Dutchman, Leons.
Dean trying to get
blocked by Leons. That's his third of the day.
Great timing from the weak side. Leons and just blocked enough to keep possession for the Braves.
Smooth by Duke Dean.
Big bucket by the Duke.
Bourne tries to answer and does. Timeout, Ben Jacobson.
Bourne, he has scored from the 3. He's gotten to the rim. He's got the pull-up jumpers. And he wants to get the foul call. Didn't get it. Turn the corner on the ball screen. Bourne has got 30 for the Panthers.
Tying a career high, as you see there. Rick Mast had 20 points in the first half. Only 8, by the way, Kev, here in the second half of play against this Northern Iowa defense that has really picked things up here in the second 20 minutes.
Much more aggressive than Bourne with 7 in the first half. He's got 23 second half points, but defensively, 50-50 balls. He's got the Panthers back in this game.
So 30 points for Bourne. And the last time we saw someone score 30 points here at Arch Madness, DJ Ballantyne of Evansville back in 2014. So it's 10 years ago, bud.
Well, what a second half performance by Bourne. As he scored 3 balls, got that going. He got to the rim. He's got the mid-range going. And Bradley has thrown different type of defenders on him. They've used size. They've used quickness, a little bit of everything, but has not slowed down Bourne. And Brian Ward told me they knew he was going to be a problem today. And he certainly has been a thorn in the side of the Braves.
Northern Iowa with 10 fouls. They have burned their last timeout. 8 fouls for Bradley as they have 2 timeouts remaining. And they have the 3-point lead.
Let's see what Brian Ward drew up on the grease board during that timeout. He's had some great looks from the timeouts.
Leons with 4 fouls.
ISO for Masters. No help defense.
Wolf gets the block from behind. UNI basketball.
Oh, Wolf came from a long way. Great timing by the freshman. Masters was ISO on that left side. When he bounced it, the help defense came. Now lands on Bourne. First time we've seen this matchup.
Owen going right to him, trying to get that 5th foul. Had to adjust his shot with that wingspan. And the jump ball call, and it will be Northern Iowa maintaining possession.
Another 50-50 ball. The length of Mast was a problem. His body's getting after it.
We have seen that all afternoon from Northern Iowa.
I've seen this set before.
Yes.
Bourne is the inbounder.
He hit a 3 yesterday, right?
Yes.
Truax. Bourne trying to cut the corner. The foul on Hickman. That is Connor's first.
Bourne inbounds and comes, swings all the way around. Defender hits all those picks, and then the last handoff, Hickman gets a piece.
%. From the charity stripe this season.
And you didn't jinx him on that one.
I'm sure if AJ is getting a chance to watch this one, he's proud of his buddy Bourne. Now some full court pressure here by Bourne.
Ooh. Right in the screener. In the Rick Mast.
That was on purpose. You know
Nobody
that.
called it.
Henry again posting up.
Deep post position by Henry. Great feed by Rick Mast.
Bourne already at a career high. Bourne too strong. Anderson tried to tip it ahead, and right there is Duke Dean to clean it up. 1 minute left.
And they put Lands on Bourne the last few possessions, and that height of Malvite Lands has paid off for the Braves. Henry, great footwork, what we call early post position. Buries tight Anderson in the paint. Mast, an excellent passer. The bounce pass into Henry. Henry with a strong finish.
All right, Kevin, let's get to our players of the game. A presentation of State Farm, a proud partner of the Missouri Valley Conference. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, Mast with the huge first half when he had 20. And then you have Bourne in the second half where he gets 25 of his 32. It's been the tale of two halves for these two players of the game.
All right, so Bradley calling their timeout. They have one remaining. We do have John Higgins and Bert Smith over at the scorer's table, making sure that we have the correct time on the clock. As you see, 58.5 on the game clock and 18 on the shot clock for the Braves. Question is, what is Brian Wardle sketching up right here?
It's going to go through Rick Mast. He's going to get a touch to make the feed, or he's going to do a dribble handoff. They like to run their offense through the big Dutchman. Great decision maker, number 51.
Again, Leons and Henry for Bradley with 4 fouls. And it is Anderson with 4 fouls for Northern Iowa.
You see Mast out there talking to Brian Jones. Brian Jones, a Northern Iowa graduate, coaching on that Bradley staff. He's saying, do I go here? He's pointing to spots on the court. We'll see what Brian Wardle has drawn up in this situation. But Mast will make sure he was clear on where he was supposed to go.
No Duax with those 4 fouls. He's on the bench out of the timeout. So they add a half a second. It's 59 seconds left on the game clock. There's Mast posting up. Hickman on the dribble drive, trying to find Rink. Quick hands by the freshman Campbell.
Great defense, collapsing defense by the Panthers.
Bourne against Leons. Bourne, no, rebound missed. And Bourne's got to get a foul here. Upset with himself, he didn't make that shot. He had the top defender in the Missouri Valley Conference, just didn't get it to drop.
Swarming defense by the Panthers. Lots of hands active. Hickman trying to make the feed. Campbell gets a piece of it and able to come up with that loose ball. In the height of Leons, the Flying Dutchman with the defense and the rebound.
Making it a 2-possession game at 68-64.
See the free throw woes, but this young man is cool as the other side of your pillow. Two-possession game.
Bourne going in for the easy 2, can't get it to drop. Loose ball picked up by Anderson. Battle, and they're going to say jump ball call, and it goes to the Bradley Braves with 18.4 seconds left.
Leons giving himself up. Anderson thought he had possession, tried to kick it out. And Leon's able to jump on that ball for the tie-up. Panthers no choice. They've got to get that Steeler foul right away.
I mentioned the free throws have been a bit of an adventure for the Braves here this afternoon, but coming in clutch here, Rick Mast. Henry, who struggled, had some big free throws, and now Hickman misses the front end of two.
Yeah, Hickman was 60% from the line. A chance to make this into 3 possessions. They're trying to get it to 2. Wolf caught one right in the left ear on that rebound. Let's see, going to be a quick ball screen to keep Lands on Bourne.
Bourne off the glass. No timeouts remaining for Northern Iowa. Henry on the deep pass from Mast. And Henry will go back to the line. All right, let's get to today's play of the game. It's brought to you by Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Turnovers. The Duke gets one. Hannah punches it through for the Braves.
Duax was the Panther that got called for his 5th foul, and so Jake has about a minute to replace him. But one of the calls that they want to go back on, remember we were talking about Landon Wolf running right past us after the free throw, and he was holding his left ear like he had gotten hit in the head. So he meaning Ben Jacobson, got the attention of the officials, and so John Higgins and Bert Smith are across from us as you see them taking a look at the replay right now.
Yeah, it was this free throw. I did not see the blow, but we saw him come by. He was definitely had the hold of his left ear, so there might be contact above the shoulders.
And then, if it is, and that's how they see it, was it just incidental? How do you sort this whole thing out? And John and Bert, two of the best in the business, getting this all figured out, and also one of the best, Amy Bonner. Amy did so many games that I've done over the years on the women's side. It's so great to see her get the opportunity here on the men's side. She does a fantastic job. So after the review,
Amy said they were looking for a potential flagrant foul, but there was not one. It was incidental contact on that missed free throw. See, watch 51 Mast.
Boom.
That hurts.
It does. That's a big man.
Wrong place.
It's going to leave a mark, as they say.
The wrong place at the wrong time. Henry stepping knock those free throws out. He struggled in the first half with free throws. Great confidence for the graduate senior.
So Bourne with 34, Mast with 30. It's the first MVC game ever. 2 players have scored 30 points in a game. Bourne's trying to add to it. No. There's Hannah. Up ahead. That's going to do it. The Bradley Braves hold on, even though they're scared here in St. Louis this afternoon. But they move on to the semis as they defeat the Northern Iowa Panthers 72-66. Oh, what a fight by the Cats here today.
Well, 2 great individual performances. Bowen Bourne all he could for the Panthers with 34. But too much mass in the first half, and the Braves able to hold on and move to the next round.
So Brian Wardle, the regular season champions and the coach of the year, move on to semifinal Saturday. They'll take on the winner of our next game of quarterfinal Friday. Game 2 coming up in a half hour, as John Rooney and the coach Rich Sabosic will have it for you as the 5th seed Sycamores of Indiana State will take on the 4C Bruins from Belmont. Bourne, Mast putting on a show. The Braves move on to semifinal Saturday. Stay tuned. Tom Ackerman will take care of you from our studios as we continue our coverage of Arch Madness 2023.
Every sunrise.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul, or tow. Just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough, and it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours.
Are we still on for 3?
I'm on the phone.
When your team needs more space to work and eat.
Carl, is that mackerel?
No, it's trout.
It matters where you stay.
Fish tacos?
Carl.
Hilton for the stay.
Metro offers MLS Season Pass.
On us.
What about for existing customers?
Yep.
Every match?
I bet, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Says it on the poster.
Plus, get unlimited 5G for $25. Now at Metro.
Everyone gets a BK stacker.
Tiny dancer.
2 linebackers.
To each their own. Burger, swagger, satisfaction buffet.
At BK, have it your way.
And we're done.
What about these?
Looks right.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. When you gotta get it done, one sheet is all you need. And Bounty is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less and get the job done with one. This works.
Kinda.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.